I'm here to talk about raising peaceful and healthy children and how to encourage nonviolent behavior in our kids. So, before COVID-19 happened, before we were staying home, my 4-year-old had an active shooter drill at her preschool. And the active shooter drill really shook her. She had not heard the word gun before. She had heard shoot before, but she didn't fully know what it meant. And she heard the word bad guy. The word bad guy was used to describe the active shooter. And I wasn't fully comfortable with the label of bad guy, but that's the word that they used. And I know that her teachers were trying to do their best to do their mandated active shooter drill and do it in the most kind and gentle way possible. But it really shook my child. And at the time, I tried to talk to her about it, but she's a 4-year-old, and truly, 4-year-olds don't talk very well about things that upset them. They play about things that upset them. So when we want to teach these types of young children, like preschoolers, nonviolent behavior, we need to wait until the play happens. So I got my opportunity many times, and I missed the opportunity. So I think that I was too distraught and too upset by the idea of my daughter playing with imaginary guns that I didn't really realize that this was a learning and a teaching moment. So many times after the active shooter drill, she would get out a little imaginary, invisible gun or a stick or something, and she would shoot it at monsters or random other things, and she would be playing with guns and shooting, and I would shut it down. I would not use it as a teaching moment. I would shut it down. And so the ways that I would shut it down were things like, I'm not comfortable around guns, and please don't point a gun at me. Guns can kill people. I don't like playing guns. Guns make me sad. Guns have consequences. I would like to not play guns. And so then usually I would ask her to change the subject, or I would leave the room if she refused to change the subject. And I seized an opportunity today to not leave the room. And it occurred to me that I probably should have done this from the beginning. So we decided today during our play to befriend a monster and to put down her pretend gun. So this is sort of how it went down, and I don't remember all the details, but I'm going to try to summarize how I played with her so that she started to see nonviolent behavior, so that she started to understand de-escalation techniques. And I really think that this type of play with children could assist in making this change that Black Lives Matter is asking for. Now, this will be too late. I realize we need change now, but we also need to be teaching our children really quality nonviolent techniques right now too. So here's what we did. I came into her room, and she pointed to a monster, and she got out her imaginary gun, and she was about to shoot her monster, and I asked her not to. I said, guns make me sad. Can we please not shoot the monster? And so she put her imaginary gun down, and I said, can you use your words with a monster instead? And so she said, monster, please stop. And she turned to me and she said, Mama, it's working. And I said, oh, great. So if the monster stopped, that's wonderful. Is the monster still there? And she said, yeah, the monster is still here. And so I said, do you think that the monster needs something? And she whispered to the monster, monster, are you okay? And she said, Mama, the monster says he's not okay. And I said, oh, what do you think the monster needs? And she said, monster, what do you need? And she whispered to me, she said, the monster says he needs a snack. And so we went downstairs and we made a snack, pretend snack for the monster, and we brought it up and we fed it to the monster, and we sat with the monster and we talked to him. And she did all the talking and she told me what the monster was saying. But essentially, the monster was being mean because he was hungry and he needed a snack and he needed a hug. And so she provided those things for him. And then he went away. So I just thought that that was a really beautiful and touching example. I wanted to pat myself on the back as a parent because I really sat with my uncomfort. I didn't want to talk about guns, but I sat with it and we talked through it. And in the process of talking through this, she taught herself, right? I didn't really teach her this at all. She taught herself the fact that sometimes bad guys just need something. They just need a snack. They just need a hug. And so I thought that was beautiful and I wanted to share it.